The highly anticipated Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, is finally here, and it's packed with game-changing updates. Whether you're a seasoned Tarnished or simply maidenless looking to dive back in, there are 3 critical aspects of this DLC that you absolutely need to know. Stick around because these insights could completely transform your gameplay experience. So this first one is something that most people already know, but I still think it's really important to point this one out, and that is that you need to defeat Mog, the Lord of Blood, and Star Scourge Radahn before you can get access to the DLC.
No! What the fuck?
Now, both of these enemies are not something that you guys can just jump into and just defeat rather quickly. These are both guys that you will actually need to spend some time and invest in your character if you want to defeat them. I'd say when it comes to Star Scourge Radahn, he is more of a mid-game boss, and Mog, the Lord of Blood, is closer towards that end-game experience. A good recommended level to defeat these guys is something around level 70, and by this point I would say you should probably have a decently put together build if you want to defeat them. If you are struggling to defeat these guys, there are a ton of people that are volunteering to help defeat these enemies at these summoning stones, so definitely look out for those. This next one is something that I would argue is probably the most important aspect of the DLC, and that is that while you guys are in this new area during the DLC, your actual stats do not matter, really. They have found a way to basically make your levels and all of your current experience kind of reset in a way. The way that they have done this is they've introduced a brand new item for us to collect called the Scadutree Fragment. Now I'm sure I just butchered that name, but the point is these fragments are going to increase your power. So each fragment is roughly going to give you about 5% damage reduction and 5% power to your attacks. And there's going to be a lot of these fragments scattered across the new DLC in all these different little places, so exploration is going to play a huge part in your gameplay experience. So definitely make sure that you guys are collecting these items. The last thing I want to talk about is just the actual size of this DLC. Now, when they said that this was a DLC, a lot of people just expect this to be a really quick experience, but that's not really the case here. Apparently, this is more borderline an expansion instead of DLC. This new playable space that we're going to be going to in Shadow of the Erdtree is apparently super big, and there's going to be a ton of verticality to this map. I've watched a lot of reviewers talk about this DLC, and they've said that this is pretty on par to the size of The Witcher 3's DLC, Blood and Wine. So that sounds really promising, and it's got me super pumped for this new experience. I've been hearing a lot of people say that time that it's going to take you to kind of like fully experience this whole Shadow of the Erdtree is roughly around 25 to 50 plus hours of content, so that is a lot of stuff to do. Now, some of you are probably scratching your head as to why I didn't include things like, weapon types and stuff like that. I just kind of thought that was a given, and just real quick, I'll just say, yes, there's going to be tons of new weapons and Ashes of War and new ways to play the game, and obviously there's going to be a bunch of new build videos going out there, but those are just the 3 major ones that I thought everyone should know going into this, and that's where we're going to call it for this video. If you guys found value in this video, please do me a solid and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. And also, just in case anyone doesn't know, I've got a Discord server now. I'm in there all the time, so if you guys want to hang out and chill, I'm trying to grow that community up, and also that's probably the best way to directly reach out to me. So thanks again guys, have a good day, and I'll see you all later.